What up, you guys? Welcome back. I know I've been MIA for a little bit, but hey, I'm here. I'm back. A lot has been going on. A lot of positive things have been going on. I'm trying to do big things over here, guys. My business is going great. Life is going great. I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. And that's the plan, right? That is the overall badass. If you get knocked down, it's what you do at that point. As cliche as it sounds, that's what it boils down to. If you get knocked down, it's up to you to make a decision as to what you want to do, as to what you're gonna do. So I've been doing that, right? I'm not talking about me getting knocked down or anything like that. I'm just stating, I'm on the grind, trying to network, with other people, other businesses, and also in regards to my YouTube channel. I made a post talking about the direction of this channel. When I'm doing work on eBay, I like listening to podcasts because there's so many gems. Sometimes I listen to the same one 2 or 3 times because I learn something new every time. And I don't listen to it like it's the radio, like it's just background noise, which it is. But if you're listening to these things and not utilizing those gems and applying it to your life, then you might as well consider yourself at a plateau. You're not progressing. And I guess in a way, you're kind of regressing because you're not trying to improve. But that's just my outlook on things. That was one hell of a tangent, right? So this video, wow, this video right here, I'm going to be talking about jealousy in jail, in prisons. So the meaning of jealous is feeling or showing envy of someone or their achievements and advantages. So ultimately, when you're locked down in jail, there is so many different types of people, so many different types of personalities, right? Everyone in there is anxious because they have a case that's pending. They're in there for a reason. They done fucked up. Now you're locked down and you have that case pending. You don't know what's going to happen. For the most part, you don't know what's going to happen. Also, you're in there trying to survive. If you're on the West Coast or Southwest, Cali, Arizona, politics are a thing, right? So you have to deal with that. You're trying to survive. If you've been down, you know what I'm talking about. It's straight up survival. It's nothing nice. If you're the type of inmate, if you're the type of person that's cared for, constantly on the phone with your family or girl or whoever, if you're active either on the phone, or if you're a popular person, or if you're getting a lot of store commissary, if you're well liked in there, not everyone's well liked, but people become jealous of that. And that can cause resentments, which lead to arguments, which leads to fights. Sometimes it can lead to lives ending, right? That's a little bit of how county is, how county jail is. When I had to serve my 12 months in jail or in prison, I immediately noticed the the environment I was in. You know, it's its own community there. I think on that yard there was around 300 inmates. And as you develop a routine, all that good stuff, you kind of figure out who to hang with and who not to hang with. So this is something I experienced. One of the biggest forms of jealousy I have ever seen. One of the biggest forms of dirtbaggery I've ever seen. If that's a word, it is now, dirtbaggery. We used to have, as you know, when you're locked down, right, you get to write letters to people. You get to receive letters. That is one of the biggest things that you could look forward to while you're locked down, while you're in prison, is getting mail. I had a job outside the prison. When I came back, I passed by the mail room. If my name was on the mail chart, that means I had a letter or multiple letters. That was part of my routine. Getting letters, reading them, and writing back. You know, I like doing that in the evening because chow time is at 5. And then after that, you're pretty much hanging out till about 8 o'clock when the yard locks down. So sometimes I'd go kick it on the yard, or not kick it with everybody, not kick it with a group. I kicked it with a few people. You know, I'd go to different units and talk to different people, you know, see how they're doing, whatever. Or just kick it with one of the OGs I was kicking it with there. But if I'm not watching TV, I was writing letters. And before mailing that letter, I couldn't put it in the mailbox. I could have, but I would have been penalized for that. Why? Because for my people, we had to hand off our letter to this person that was designated to mail the letters for us. And that was for many reasons, but the main reason is they just want to make sure you're not snitching on people, right? You're not writing a kite. You're not telling the guards that something is going on. You know, go check out this cell because that's going on. So we had to give our letters to a representative. And they just look, they look over the outside of the envelope. They don't actually read your letter because it's sealed, but they just look on the outside, make sure there's no notes or nothing weird like that, right? So they are supposed to get that and then put it right in the mailbox. Sometimes these guys would carry the letters in their back pocket and then they'd just hit different cells. And I did my best to keep my eye on them just to make sure there was no funny business, because funny business was happening. There was this one guy, one of the mailman, we'll just call him, right? One of the mailmen, he took some other guy's letter, and he knew who, and the mailman knew who the guy was writing to. He knew this guy a little bit, but he knew this guy had a girlfriend. So this frickin' piece of work took the letter back to his unit. He opened the letter, read it, right? It was obviously going to the inmate's girlfriend. So this mailman decides to write the girlfriend back. He tried to holler at this person, at this girl. He tried to holler at the inmate's girlfriend. That's a no-no. That is a no-no. Ultimately, that guy got smashed off the yard. That mailman got smashed off the yard. And when I say smashed off the yard, you'll got his ass whooped. You know, we'll just say that. That is one of the biggest forms of dirtbaggery I've ever seen. Jealousy. I never saw this mailman write anybody, you know. He seemed kind of like a loner, you know, didn't have much going on for him. He didn't have a job outside the yard. So he just stood on that yard, and, you know, he wanted to climb the ranks, you know, in politics, right? He wanted to be somebody. There's a lot of people, a lot of inmates who aren't somebody until they get locked down, until they're in jail, until they're in prison. Because they've been locked down before multiple times. They've established themselves, you know, within one of the prison gangs, right? So what I did, as soon as I found that out, I didn't trust anybody there to begin with. But what I did, I had a cellie that was a white boy, right? I trusted him. You know, we were cool, good vibes. So after knowing I still had to give the letters to the new mailman, I never did anymore. I cut that off. So I'd write my letters, give it to my cellie, and then he would put it in the mailbox for me. And I told one of the other guys I was tight in there with that, told him about that, you know, it's a good idea. Told him if you have any letters, just let me know, you know, and I'll pass it on to my cellie, and he'll mail it for us. And everything was cool after that. I didn't have to worry about anything like that. Because as soon as I gave him the letters, he went immediately to the mailbox and dropped them off for us. So, just wanted to share a little bit about that. The jealousy is real, man. There's so many different ways that people are jealous in prison, but that was some of the first-hand experience I've ever seen, witnessed, experienced. Don't be a dirtbag. Thanks for listening.